This show, Friday Night Smackdown, March 27th, 2020, it was an absolute disaster. Now, for starters, after what happened yesterday with Roman Reigns withdrawing from WrestleMania, where the Universal Championship match that was supposed to be against Goldberg is now just not happening, literally this show tonight, half an hour of the show was just about Reigns versus Goldberg. So right there, it's a redundant waste of time. And granted, that's out of their control. They filmed SmackDown a couple of days ago, now it's being played now, and it's out of their control, I get. But it just makes the show even more redundant than it already was. Literally, why did we need to see Roman Reigns versus Triple H from WrestleMania 32 on near enough full match replay? What was that about? That was on the worst WrestleMania main events ever. For a WrestleMania which was pretty damn bad, and we had to see that again? Why? Why? And it's not just Reigns versus Goldberg the build for that pissed me off. Literally, the stuff they did with Elias and Baron Corbin. What the hell was that? Elias is literally singing, quote right now, Baron, your throne's a toilet, and you are a turd. That was the main catchline for Elias' song to Corbin. And then from there, they did this horrible, botchy looking thing where Elias was knocked off the Performance Center, platform, and then the camera cut 3 times. So clearly Elias didn't fall to the concrete floor, but they showed Elias on the concrete floor and tried to sell it that way. Just, Bruce? What are you doing, man? What is this? What are these segments? These are segments which, you can just make them better. The show doesn't have to be this bad, okay? I get you have to tape this show. I'm fine with that. I get that the WrestleMania card's falling to pieces each day. The show's just an absolute mess because people are withdrawing. But stuff like this, why was Elias singing this song where Baron, your throne's a toilet and you are a turd was the main lyrics? Where there are pictures of Corbin with toilet paper sitting on a toilet seat. What is this? Who thought this would be a good idea? Why? Why? I don't get it. It's stuff like that. And it wasn't just that. It was the opening segment, the SmackDown Women's Division all in the ring, colliding. So Bayley and Sasha come out and regurgitate this WrestleMania 36 propaganda garbage about how it's too big for one night. And then from there we get Lacey Evans coming out and just, there's this whole segment, Lacey, Naomi, and then Tamina came down, the wild card. What is this? Why? Drew Gulak, Shinsuke Nakamura. Okay, why? Sami Zayn's good on commentary, but that's literally it. And the stuff with Michael Cole describing Otis Ziggler and Mandy Rose, and then a Ziggler and Otis kind of interaction. This whole show was just a waste of time. The main event was the Usos versus the New Day, where the winners faced Miz and Morrison. But even that's redundant because Miz and Morrison wasn't Miz sick and couldn't compete at WrestleMania at the tapings yesterday. So the tag team title match didn't even happen. So regardless of who they face, there's no point. Can you see where my frustration comes in with this show? One, it was redundant because literally outcomes and matches changed on WrestleMania night for the tapings because people pulled out. But 2, the segments they did to supplement that were just bad. As I said, Corbin and Elias, prime example, showing a full WrestleMania 32 main event replay. Why? All of this stuff. The Firefly Funhouse was a positive. That was the one positive of this whole show. And then the main event tag match was good, but it was a redundant outcome. So, without further ado, just get into this SmackDown review, March 27th, 2020, a taped episode of SmackDown. I think it was taped 5 days ago. It was taped a while back. So, we open with Michael Cole telling us what's in store for tonight's show, including Roman Reigns vs. Triple H, WrestleMania 32, main event for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. So, right there, I wanted to turn the show off altogether. When I heard that, I was like, why bother watching this show? Because that match was absolutely god-awful. That was crapped on unanimously. Reigns was booed out of AT&T Stadium. It was a disaster. So we find out that we're going to see that on SmackDown. From here, Bayley and Sasha Banks come to the ring, and they're doing this pro-WrestleMania propaganda garbage about how it's too big for one night, and then they move on to how unfair this is that Paige put them in a 5-pack challenge, and then predictably Lacey Evans, her music hits, she comes down and says that after WrestleMania, Sasha won't be able to say her daughter's name. Since when does this storyline was over 2 months ago? Why is this being brought back up? This has no relevance to anything. Since when's Sasha feuding with Lacey? This just got brought up, and it's where's the continuity here? This Lacey and Sasha have had matches for the last 2 months, off and on, but this hasn't been brought up. Now it's getting brought up a week before WrestleMania. Whatever. So Naomi comes down And then she says, like, nothing. And then Tamina makes her entrance. Michael Cole shouts, the wild card. Okay, Cole, is there any reason why she's in the match? Are you going to tell us that? So Tamina comes into the ring, and Tamina literally says, where's the quote? She says, I use actions, not words, and proceeds to just beat up Naomi. Okay. So when she says, I use actions, not words, is that just her saying, I can't cut promos? That's what I took that as. So, but then we got literally Tamina beating down Naomi and Lacey Evans. Bayley and Sasha just escaped, so Tamina stood tall. So Tamina, who hasn't won a singles match in literally 3 years, all of a sudden she's just literally number one contender for the title. This makes no sense. Just SmackDown on Fox, led by Bruce, an absolute disaster. So from here we go to Drew Gulak versus Shinsuke Nakamura. I got this wrong last week. So basically this match was, if Gulak wins, then Bryan faces Zayn for the IC title at WrestleMania. Okay, so this match, I mean, Zayn on commentary was funny. If I was like a little kid, I'd find him amazing as a heel. I'd like really hate him because he does a heel job really well. But outside of Zayn's commentary work, it was literally like a 7-minute match. It was whatever. Gulak pinned Nakamura. The way the pinfall happened as well, it looked so bad. It was like a sunset flip roll through kind of pin, and Nakamura's shoulders were down for like 10 seconds because the referee got there late to count the fall, and there was a slow count, and Nakamura couldn't have looked any worse. I'm thinking to myself, 3 years ago, this guy was the king of Japan, getting amazing pops every night. Now he's just an absolutely worthless loser. So Zayn versus Bryan is official for WrestleMania. Great. Just give the title to Bryan and move on. From here, we go to commercial, come back. Michael Cole is recapping Otis, Ziggler, and Mandy Rose, the Otis thing from last week, at the end of the tag match where Otis just broke everything. So Michael Cole says that this began on Valentine's Day. No, Cole. This began like weeks before when Ziggler and Mandy Rose were like, Ziggler's kind of hitting on Mandy Rose like a month before. This didn't begin on Valentine's Day, you clown. Just what an absolute nonce Michael Cole is. Just this guy is just absolutely worthless. So from here, we get literally a recap of the Otis thing, and then we go backstage. Ziggler's like on the phone to Mandy Rose. He's like FaceTiming her. Otis comes in trying to attack Ziggler, and then like 8 guys are holding Otis back. And then Ziggler's like, let's sell this at WrestleMania. So that's what we got there. From here, we cut to one of the worst segments I've seen on SmackDown all year. This was dreadful. Elias is standing on the PC, like, platform thing. The same platform where Gargano and Ciampa did their brawl and had the final spot. Elias, he's saying that after or during this song, make sure you'll hear your neighbors clapping along to the song. Elias, my neighbors don't watch this worthless piece of crap show because they have some pride and self-respect. Okay? The only reason I watch it is because I have a YouTube channel. If I didn't have a YouTube channel, there's no chance in hell I'd watch this piece of crap show. So we got Elias beginning this song where we're seeing pictures on the Titantron of Baron Corbin sitting on a toilet with pictures of toilet paper. It's just, what is this? Seriously, what is this segment? So then Elias sings the lyrics that I've already said 3 times now. Baron, your throne's a toilet and you are a turd. Brilliant storytelling, Bruce! Clown. Who did you or Vince think this was a good idea? This is probably Vince's idea, and you're like, yes, Vince. Yeah, it's a great idea, Vince. Just, what was this? Baron, your throne's a toilet and you are a turd. I feel like I'm a 4-year-old watching this show. What is this? Your throne's a toilet and you are a turd. Just get off my TV, Elias, you clown. So from here, Baron Corbin attacks him, predictably, and then they do the spot where Elias literally, like, he almost jumps over the, like, balcony railing thing onto the very edge. Like, it looks so forced. And then Elias is, like, holding on. They're doing this spot where, like, will Corbin knock him off? Will Corbin knock him off? Eventually, Corbin just knocks him off. So, Elias, the camera cuts as Elias is falling down, cuts to Corbin. You hear, like a little, bumping sound. And then you cut the camera back, and Elias, like, on the concrete floor, laid out. There's, like, 4 referees checking on him, as if he's just died. I'm thinking to myself, this is taped. There's no chance in hell that actually happened. He probably fell, like, a meter onto some, like, crash mats. So, instead, we're forced to see Corbin standing above looking almighty as, like, 19 referees are checking out Elias. Just garbage. So, from there, we go to Asuka vs. Alexa Bliss with Nikki Cross on commentary. Nikki Cross is just absolutely painful. Literally, she's standing on the commentary table, like, screaming, and she's, like, dancing on the commentary table. And then she, like, hugs Michael Cole, and Michael Cole's like, oh, but, social distancing. Michael, you're commentating a pro wrestling show. People are literally rubbing their bodies all over each other in the middle of the ring, which you're 3 meters away from. Clown. So this match was whatever. In the end, literally Alexa Bliss just won with a DDT. Whatever. Like, I couldn't care less about Alexa Bliss versus Asuka or the Kabuki Warriors versus Bliss and Cross. This dead women's tag division. So that was the first hour of SmackDown. I'll summarize that hour again in case you weren't following. A SmackDown Women's Title mess of a segment. Drew Gulak versus Shinsuke Nakamura in like a 7-minute boring match. Michael Cole analyzing Otis Ziggler. Then we had Elias singing and Corbin knocking him off a platform. And then Asuka Alexa Bliss with Nikki Cross on commentary. A disaster of a first hour. So from there we go to the full match replay of Roman Reigns versus Triple H. As if this show had to be any more unwatchable. Reigns Triple H WrestleMania 32 for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. This match is quite possibly the worst match to replay because it was long, predictable, unanimously hated by everyone. I can't think of anyone who endorses this match and says it's really good. It was so predictable. It was the Roman agenda in a nutshell, this whole match. So this was done to build hype for Reigns vs. Goldberg, even though Reigns vs. Goldberg is off. Like, an absolute disaster. So literally what happened, like 5 minutes before the top of the hour, we saw Triple H come out. Like, Stephanie was squawking, and then Triple H walked down with Stephanie as there's like an army of people holding WWE championships on their shoulder. It was weird. Reigns came down to loud boos. I'm thinking to myself, Kevin Dunn didn't edit that at all. Do they not edit this show? Could Kevin Dunn not turn down the boos? Like, Reigns' music hit and he was unanimously booed. It made me laugh, but anyway, so I turned it off from there because I didn't want to see 25 minutes of this. So then I turned the show back on at an hour 20, and we see Reigns winning the title. So from there we cut to a Triple H interview thing. So Triple H is standing backstage. Michael Cole asks him, he's faced both men, who does he think's going to win? So then Triple H says that both men are very intense, but Reigns' intensity increases throughout the match, and Goldberg's just more intensity from the start. Whatever. So from there we go to a Firefly Funhouse with Bray Wyatt. By far the best thing of the night. Wyatt's talking about how, there's like a recipe to causing this downfall he's gone on, and then there's a recipe to beat Cena. He's going through these ingredients, and it's really good. And then Wyatt announces that their match with Cena will be a Firefly Funhouse match. So that'll be cool. That allows them to be more creative and cinematic with their match. So I'm looking forward to the Cena vs. Wyatt Firefly Funhouse match. And then from there, literally we go backstage to Sonya Deville talking to Ziggler, and then Mandy Rose comes over and they have another conversation. Basically, Ziggler doesn't want to be competing in the match where it's just Mandy Rose on the line, and Mandy Rose wants to be more than just like a prize for them, so whatever. And then from there, we go to our main event, literally the New Day versus the Usos. Seen this match a million times. Like, this match wasn't even bad, but I just didn't care. Like, it doesn't matter who won. I literally just turned it off halfway through the match. I'm like, it doesn't matter. Because whoever wins, the match versus The Miz and Morrison won't even happen because Miz was sick. So, whatever, that was the show. Another dead SmackDown for this week. No reason to care. Literally a full match replay of Triple H versus Reigns. Like, why bother? Why care? So, that was what we got there. And the rest of the show was just dead. No reason to care. No reason to be interested. Hopefully enjoyed. Be sure to like, comment, sub. See ya.